Guys. JB here from Alpha Wolf Consulting, coming to you today with the next lesson in the Introduction to Sales and Communications course. And this lesson is all about lead generation. So, like we talked about in the last lesson, which was about prospecting for new business, this is the second stage of prospecting, where we're taking an interest from a potential buyer and we're generating a lead out of it. So, to understand this is just to understand that this is the next stage along the line of cold, or not cold, but of taking a potential buyer, okay, that we've generated interest in the product, service, or offer that we present to them. And we're creating now a tool that will take them from being semi-interested or interested into being an active lead in our sales cycle or our sales process. So lead generation is slightly different to prospecting, where in prospecting, we're looking to initiate conversations. Now we're looking to take that conversation and turn that into potential business or into a lead. So, an important difference between prospecting, lead generation is the act where we're giving initial value to a potential buyer that sort of interests them and shows them that our product, service, or offer can get them from being in point A to point B. Point A being where they don't really understand who we are, what we do, how we help them, and taking them to point B where they understand exactly how we're able to help them achieve the goals they want to achieve or overcome challenges or situations that they want to overcome. So, an important thing about lead generation is providing value to a potential buyer. So, what we want to do is we want to have tools that are called lead magnets, where it's something where it's has inherent value to a potential buyer, and it sort of helps in the process of educating a buyer about some of the constraints or challenges potentially that they're going to face, or shows them opportunity that they could be taking on. So to go on from the last scenario in that we were using in prospecting that we're going to continue with is we're a marketing business that helps small businesses in hospitality, so small restaurants, increase their customer base and create offers so that they're able to turn down days into their up days. So, an important thing in lead generation would be to have a tool or an asset that is able to help us do this. So, we could use case studies, we could use free marketing plans, we could use blueprints, whatever it may be, something that has inherent value, but also that we can use among a multitude of different sort of potential buyers where we're not having to customize it to each buyer. What we want to do in lead generation is we want to minimize the effort or the expenditure of energy and time that we use and have something that is sort of like a cookie cutter turnkey solution. Okay. And it's not a full solution, but a turnkey solution that can help someone understand how we can help them achieve the goals that they want to achieve in their business, in their personal life. So, when we're talking about lead generation, what we're talking about is taking someone from being interested to, oh, this sounds like it's a good idea, to showing them something tangible to where, oh, okay, this is actually something real that I could benefit from. So, by creating fun little marketing strategies, okay, by creating case studies of similar businesses, okay, and being able to demonstrate value. That's the point of lead generation, is demonstrating initial value to a potential buyer that helps us expand on that initial relationship that we've had. And now we're really sort of expanding on that to where someone feels that they've gotten value just out of knowing us, just out of being in contact with us. And this is important because this value is what we use throughout the sales process to really, really amplify the effectiveness of our communication with potential buyers. Because if we haven't provided any value previously to a buyer, then who are we to them? What are we to them? Why is them giving us their time valuable to them? So it's a way of us showing respect to a potential buyer and providing them with something that is tangible and valuable to them, to where they understand and can comprehend the value that we bring. So depending on the product or service or offer, this could be a lead generation strategy, could be free samples. A lead generation strategy could be free assessments, free appointments. It's the tool we use to break down the barriers and create trust. That's the goal of lead generation, is we've built the initial relationship with a potential buyer. Okay, so they know who I am. They know who the company is, but they don't understand, or they don't perceive the value yet. So what we're doing now is we're expanding on that initial relationship and providing value to them to break down those barriers and start building trust with the buyer. And these are very, very good tools because these allow us to provide value to a customer with low cost to ourselves. So, the cost of an email, the cost of, the time it takes to write out a marketing strategy, a simple, easy, fun marketing strategy, the cost it takes to write out a case study, whatever it may be. And the value we get is the value that they receive. Because if we provide massive amounts of value at the start, we've built massive amounts of trust, because it's like we had an initial conversation with a potential buyer, and now I'm handing you $1,000 and saying, here you go, here's $1,000. Like, I don't want anything in return. So that's a key thing about lead generation, is it's low commitment. They don't have to do anything with it, but those who want to get the value out of it will get the value out of it. Those who don't want the value will be out of our process. So it's a good tool for us to start conditioning, because those who won't invest the time into our lead generation or our lead magnet, okay, won't ever get the value. So we know we don't need to invest into these buyers, because anything we invest into them, they're not getting any value out of. Okay, if that sort of makes sense. So it's sort of like if we went up and we gave them $1,000 and they said, I don't want it. No. Okay, great. Why would I continue to provide value to you or offer you value if you don't want it? So it's a good way for us to understand and be able to sort of, it's a milestone that we hit to know that they're engaged. And it's a good, easy way that we can create engagement between us, the company that we work for, and the potential buyer. And it sets us up for the sales process, okay, of then being able to, after they're interested in the lead magnet, after they've shown interest and they've taken it, we're now able to go into the qualifying stages, and then the presentation stage, and then overcoming the objections, then closing. So you sort of see how we start prospecting, then we do lead generation, then we qualify, then we present, then we overcome objections, then we close the deal. We're making it a step-by-step process that if a buyer or a potential buyer doesn't want to follow the process, we let them out of the process, so that we're not investing time, energy, resources into a non-buyer. Because if we believe that what we offer is valuable and others don't want that value, it is a clear indicator that they don't want our product, service, or offer. Okay, so it's an important thing that Those who want the value that we offer will be grateful for the lead magnet or for the value that we're providing them. Those who don't respect our offer or want our offer or product or service will exit stage left, if that sort of makes sense. So it's a really good way for us to be able to identify who's working with us and who's not, who's following the process and who's not, because this is part of the conditioning, because we want people to be taking the steps that lead to the sale. We don't want them off on their own tangent journey going over to Siberia, for an excursion when we're trying to get them in to Australia. You know what I mean? We want people moving in the direction that leads to the outcomes that we're providing them. If they're refusing to follow the process, we cannot help them, because the entire time we're trying to get them back onto the process and trying to get them to show interest and trying to show them the value. And it's this cycle of just wasting time on people who have no intention of solving the problem that they're facing. So it's a really good marker to be able to understand that until someone accepts our lead magnet or our lead generation strategy, we cannot progress them further. No matter what they say, do, or, if they say, I don't need that, I just want to buy the product. Okay, great, buy the product. That's what you say to them. Do they put the money down and buy the product? Or do they create a reason why they can't buy the product? Do you see? So if they're not willing to follow the process, there's no point talking to them. If they're trying to skip stages in the process, we go straight to the close. Okay, money in hand, here's your product. Do you see? So the whole process is about building a relationship. Those ones who don't want to follow the steps to build the relationship, we put the hard word on them and say, well, buy the product. You don't want to buy the product? See you later. So it's a way that we're able to throw those people who should not be in our sales process out of our sales process so that we don't waste any more time on them. And because we're doing it at the front end of the sale, we're not wasting 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks sitting there calling, trying to get through to them, messaging them, trying to get them on board. Do you see? Those who follow the process are potential customers. Those who don't want to follow the process are time wasters, because unless they're going to put their money where their mouth is and buy the product without having any of the process, they're never going to buy the product. We can sit there and try and convince them for our entire life, but all we're doing is wasting our time, energy, and effort that could be used on creating and delivering a massive amount of value to those who want that value. So it's a really good marker to understand, okay, you've said you're interested and you're interested in solving this problem. This is the next step. I send you over some information and then we go into the qualifying. If you don't want to follow that process and you want to try and jump around and run your own process, good for you. Go do it on someone else's time. Don't waste my time. And it's by understanding who I am, the company I work for, and the value that my product, service, or offer has for them and provides to them that allows me to say, see you later. I'm not wasting my time because I'm not an amateur sales person. Okay. And this is important because it's in putting this pressure on people that they'll either comply or they'll go away. And if they go away, we've saved ourselves time and money by not wasting energy on them. Because in sales, if we don't have these processes to qualify people out and we're not pushing people who shouldn't be in our sales process out, our sales process is going to be muddled with hundreds or thousands of time wasting people who have no idea what they're doing, have no idea where they're at, have no idea about anything, and are just in a confused state. What this process does is this process is simplifying from the prospecting to the closing, from them going from our first meeting to them becoming a customer. We have a choreographed path to success, a step-by-step plan to success. If they follow the plan, we educate them stage by stage to where when they become a customer, they understand everything intricately. They understand the value. They understand the work that we put in. They understand the value of the product, service, or offer that we have. Okay. Those who don't follow the process will be confused. So we can waste our time trying to re-educate, 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 re-educate. And what have we done? Wasted our time. So remember this, that these stages of the process are the only way someone can purchase. When we have that level of conditioning, that if you don't want to follow the path, walk on your own, go do whatever you want to do, whatever. Like my goal as a salesperson is to take you from not understanding the whole way through to understanding. If you don't want to understand, I, as a salesperson, can't do anything. Because in that initial first meeting, if you're not ready to buy and you don't want to understand, what point is there me talking to you? All I'm doing is sitting there and stroking your ego, stroking your ego. Like it's illogical. So understand that lead generation is how we provide a massive amount of value at the front end of the sale to a potential customer that brings them and correlates to the stages or the process of the sale. Okay. And to all potential buyers, potential customers that don't want to follow the process, they will never be anything but potential. So we do not waste time on potential. Potential that doesn't follow the process is just up in the air, thinking about what they want. So just understand this, that, the process is set out for us to be able to measure their emotional investment and emotional engagement in our product, service, or offer. It's about creating from prospecting to closing a choreographed experience that takes them through, that creates the most simple, easy way for them to get the results or achieve the goals that they want to achieve. To those who do not want to follow the process, they do not want the goal, because they're trying to get the goal without having to put money down. They're trying to get the goal without having to put effort in. And if you've ever dealt with a customer like that, that doesn't want to put money down, doesn't want to put effort in, but wants the results, they're time wasters. So save yourself some money, save yourself some effort, save yourself some struggle, and just let them go and understand, the stricter we are on the process, the stricter we are, okay, or the stricter we are on the process, the more comfort we provide to potential buyers. When buyers understand that we have been through this process hundreds of times, we know the path to success, and they're willing to be guided by us, we can help them. If they are unwilling to be guided by us, it is a conflict. It's like going on a road trip with someone. I know the way to the destination, and they're trying to tell me all the different shortcuts, but they've never been there. Like, yeah, I can listen to them and say, "Yeah, mate, you know the way, you know the way. Yeah, yeah, let's go left here. Even though we're going south, let's just start traveling north. Why not? Why not travel north to get south? It's a longer journey. We may get there, or we may end up in the middle of nowhere in the middle of the ocean. So why would I waste my time following directions from someone who has not been or has not gotten the results that we're trying to get. And that's an important thing, that when we understand our value as a salesperson and our role as a salesperson, when we understand the value of our product, service, or offer and the company that stands behind it, to those who want to run their own process, that's great. Go do it on your own time, with your own money, with your own effort, and do that. I'll give you a story from when I sold property to first home buyers. We would always have these people, and we called them the I know boats guys because everyone knows boats, right? So they would always come up and tell us where the best land is. They would always come up and tell us, oh, who the best builder is, what the best house type was. And the funny thing was, they had never done it before. They had never put in the effort to learn or understand. And they would be there trying to tell me that I knew nothing about getting into your first home and that I knew nothing about property and they knew everything. And the funny thing was, when we try to appease those type of people, they're full of shit. Straight fact. They are full of shit. They have no intention of buying. They have no intention of doing anything. All they do is talk shit. So you can waste your time listening to someone talk shit and try and pull the shit out of your ear, or you can stand your ground and say, yeah, yeah, you know boats. See you, mate. Bye. And that's the thing. Why waste time trying to build a relationship with someone who doesn't want to build a relationship with you? Why waste time trying to help someone achieve a goal that they don't want to achieve? Like, we can't do that. We don't turn no's into yeses. We turn yeses and maybes into yeses. We don't turn no's into yeses. I know boats guys can go and know boats as much as they want away from me, but I don't deal with them as a salesperson because I don't waste my time with non-buyers. If you want to be an amateur salesperson and you want to waste all of your time, effort, and attention on non-buyers, by all means do it, but it's the quickest way to suicide because the thing is, you're going to be showing them that you're not confident in who you are, that you're not confident in your position as a salesperson, that you're not confident in your product, service, or offer, and you're not confident in your company's value that it provides. Because if you were confident in it, you wouldn't waste your time humoring someone just to stroke their ego. It's illogical. So that's a key thing to understand in psychology is if you try to appease a non-buyer, you show a non-buyer that you have no idea who a buyer is, who your buyer is. By understanding intricately who your buyers are and who your buyers are not. And to give you the secret, a buyer is someone that follows the process. A non-buyer is someone that runs their own process. Okay. If you waste time on non-buyers, you show people that you're an amateur because you cease to have time for your buyers. You're wasting all your time on non-buyers, and your buyers get none of your time. And that's the goal to sales is we want to minimize our time with non-buyers and maximize our time with buyers so that we can give the buyers the most amazing experience, and those non-buyers, we kick them out of the process as soon as possible. We get rid of them. We forget them. They can go and do their own process on their own dime, on their own way, whatever they may do, whatever. Like, we don't deal with them. We deal with buyers, and we wow buyers, and we give buyers the best experience, and we make sure buyers get the results that they want. To anyone else that isn't a buyer, we do not have time for them because it's illogical for me to waste time explaining and educating to someone who thinks I'm full of shit. They're never going to listen to me. They're never going to respect me. It's better that I just disengage and not waste my time, energy, and become hostile with them. So we simply say, that's great. Sounds like you know what you're doing. Sounds like you know property. I'm going to let you go. Here's a couple of places that I would look into, but I know you know where is the best place to go. Thanks so much. Bye. And that's what we say to them. And we let them go. And they may come back and we say, are you ready to follow the process? And if they're not ready to follow the process, we let them go on their way. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your effort. It's pointless to waste time and effort on a non-buyer. And that's what lead generation is about. Lead generation is about taking someone who has interests and turning them into a buyer by pulling them into our process and by taking them on the journey to their goal. All right. You have an amazing day, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.